the correct pathway of light in the eyes is. So let's review the order that light will go through and then see which choice matches that. So if you take a look at the diagram of the eye over here on the bottom, you could see that you have this cornea here. You have your cornea, and you have your pupil is the whole. So what this is saying is that you have the sclera, which is just a clear outer film that covers the whole thing. And then your cornea is that cover on top of the iris, which is the colored part of your eye. And then the black dot, which is the pupil, it actually isn't really a dot. It's actually a hole which allows light to enter the eye. And then we could accommodate that by making the hole or the pupil larger if we need more light to enter in, such as if you're in a dark space and you need to be able to see better, versus if we need to constrict or make smaller, like if it's very bright, there's a lot of light and we don't need that much light to enter in, we want to limit it, it could get smaller. So based on this order that we see, we know that light enters the cornea first because this is covering the pupil, and then enters the pupil itself, which is the hole. So we know that cornea has to come first, so we can eliminate B, the pupil, because we know we have to get through the cornea before we could get to the pupil. So we know that the order should be cornea, cornea, and then pupil. So the pupil comes after the cornea. The lens is later down the line, so we could eliminate option C as well. So now we've narrowed it down to option A or option D. So let's continue on our pathway here. So we go through our cornea, then we go through the pupil, which is the opening that we discussed, and then which type of humor does it go through first, which is the liquid inside the eye. Is it the vitreous humor or is it the aqueous humor? The aqueous humor is a clear fluid that goes between the cornea and the lens, and this helps to nourish the eye itself and maintain eye pressures. So after we go through our pupil, then we have to go through this aqueous humor to then get to the lens. So we know that option A, which goes through the vitreous humor, it's saying we can eliminate because we have to go from pupil to aqueous humor next. Then it goes to the lens, which is this structure over here. This lens helps to further focus the light onto the retina, which is in the back of the eye right there, which helps to visualize the image. So the lens helps to get to the light back to the retina in the back of the eye. And this helps, changing its shape of the lens itself, helps with accommodation to see images better based on its distance. So we know that we go from the pupil to the aqueous humor into the lens next. And then after the lens, then we get to the vitreous humor, which is a gel-like substance, and it fills the large central cavity of the eye and also helps maintain its shape and pressure. So the vitreous humor comes next, and then the retina is where the image hits in the back of the eye, which allows us to see what we are looking at. So option D is the correct order of cornea, pupil, aqueous humor, lens, vitreous humor, and then retina, which is the pathway of light in the eye. Option D.